men's singles action, center court, Australian Open Championship. Would you welcome from Switzerland, Roger Federer. From Great Britain, Andy Murray.
A three-time finalist taking on a four-time champion. It'll be Federer and Murray on the court. And, of course, the delicious subplot of Lendl and Edberg in the boxes. Hi, everyone. Chris McKendry, Chrissy Everett, Brad Gilbert, as we welcome you to our continuing live coverage of the Australian Open, now on ESPN, as we watch them take that long walk. Chrissy, a sense of nerves?
Fed looked nervous, didn't he? He looked very nervous. But, you know, in a nutshell, this match, the way I look at it, Fed has to be focus, focus, focus. He's got to get a lot of first serves in to get free points, and he's got to come in as much as he can.
Well, I think that the other night when you saw him play, he played very aggressive tennis, and he really took advantage of the Tsonga backhand. I like Stefan Edberg. I believe that he is starting to have a match-to-match influence. I don't think he's just brought in for inspiration. I believe that he's starting to give a lot more input, and I think the big shot tonight is Andy Murray's second serve. If he's laying it in 73 miles an hour, Roger has to be aggressive. He can't just settle to chip the backhand. Use your fear hand.
And also, you know, Fed's coming in the underdog in this, and usually when he plays Murray, he's not the underdog, so a little more pressure on Murray in this match.
Yeah, it is the first time that they've met, and they've met now 21 times, including tonight, that Roger Federer is the lower-ranked player. What's Andy Murray's strategy for tonight, Brad?
Well, I mean, the key for Andy Murray is attacking the forehand from the center of the court. Don't get caught up in rolling your forehand. Watch him go after this forehand and flatten it out. That's the Lendl influence. Sometimes he can be too passive, but this is the one I like when he goes hard and goes after it, because you know he can play defense, mix in the offense. That's what makes him a lot better player. Attacking second serves. He can do this inside the baseline and put pressure on servers. I love this part of his game, and at 6'3", he can get balls off the bounce before they get up on him. This is another one of those wonderful backhand returns. Looking at that.
There they are. It's live. It's 7:30 local time.
Peter,
it's a
come with me.
gorgeous
You
night
two guys, please.
at Melbourne Park.
No. This is your coin.
And let's take a look at Roger Federer, what he needs to do. The other night, he was very aggressive against Tsonga. But the interesting thing is, what I liked about how he was aggressive against Tsonga, the guy's backhand is a little bit weaker, and they went after it, came in on it as much as possible, and every time that he came in on it, it paid dividends. Look at him open up the court, straight down on the backhand. This is one of those great little points, a nice little forehand pass. I felt like he did a great job in this match coming forward. He'll have to be a little more selective in this match coming forward on the Murray backhand, whose backhand is unbelievable. I think he needs to get some free points off the serve, and the key shot, when Murray's hitting those weak second serves, that he has to go after that shot.
Chrissy, as we watch him play here against Tsonga the other night, Tsonga did not have one of his best nights. And we know Federer, as we watch him now live, they're still in warm-ups. He's battling with doubts that he never had in his career, coming off his worst year of his career last year. How important is a quick start against Murray for Roger?
Well, a quick start is very important, but the problem is Federer's had quick starts against top players the last 2 years, and he hasn't consolidated. He hasn't closed matches. So when I say he needs focus, he needs that intensity every single point, and he just can't go walkabout, as we say in Australia. He just can't go out there, and every single point he's got to be intense. I think it's more of a mental game for him.
There's no doubt, but to me, I like where he's at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, I give him the slight edge. I think
the betting
he is
favorite.
inspired.
Slight betting favorite.
Very slight. It took him a while to decide who was the favorite in this one. We do know that. Rafa Nadal awaits the winner. Are we in store for another Fed-Rafa showdown? Our live coverage continues.
In my country, the investment landscape changes continually. At Franklin Templeton, we've been here for decades to see it firsthand.
Our investment insights start on the ground, with local analysts spotting opportunities and risks as they emerge.
When opportunity grows in your backyard, you can see first what others see eventually.
Invest through the eyes of hundreds of local experts worldwide. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
This was the hardest decision I've ever had to make. Jim, I adore the pool at your hotel. Anna, your hotels have wondrous waffle bars. Ryan, your hotel's robes are fabulous. I have 12 of them.
12?
Shh, I'm worth it. What I'm trying to say is, it's so hard to pick just one of you, so I'm choosing all of you with Hotels.com.
A loyalty program that requires no loyalty. Earn free nights worldwide with Hotels.com.
IBM has helped hundreds of automotive companies work smarter. Continental is embedding cars with sensors that'll track factors like how hard you hit the brakes. Cars can then share that info in the cloud and see hazards before their drivers do. Thousands of companies are using IBM Analytics to help manage billions of possible cybersecurity threats every day. One company's network sees 23,000 events a second. Now it can know which ones to investigate.
ESPN's coverage of the Australian Open 2014 is presented by Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective. And in part by Time.
As we welcome you back, it's our Franklin Templeton featured matchup for tonight, prime time locally. So happy if you're staying up with us. It's Andy Murray and Roger Federer. Both of these players are Grand Slam champions, and they sense the opportunity that's at this tournament. Novak Djokovic is now out of the event, and they both sat in the locker room watching Rafa Nadal fight as hard as he could to take out Grigor Dimitrov after needing to play more than 3 hours against Kei Nishikori, Brad.
Yeah, there's no doubt that there's a lot at stake tonight. They gave me about 5 minutes to do a quick tail of the tape, so I didn't get to think about it forever, so I go in for it really quickly. Let's take a look at the forehand. I give the edge 3-2 to the Fed. Backhand, I give Murray the edge 3-2. Serve, I give the edge to Federer. Much better second serve, 3-2. The return, I give the big advantage there to Murray. He can do a lot more with it. Net, I give the advantage to Federer. Murray still volleys really well, but Fed will be at the net more. Movement, even though Andy Murray's coming off of back surgery, the guy moves like a gazelle. Rod still moves great, but I give the advantage to Murray. And the intangibles, hashtag Fedberg. And for Andy Murray, 11-9 head-to-head, and I beat you 3 of the last 4, and I beat you in the finals of the Olympics and here last year. So these are big matches to me. But Roger Federer, I know, is dreaming about winning this title. He sees Djokovic out, he sees Nadal struggling, and Murray coming off an injury. I think he's thinking about winning this.
Well, there he is. Hashtag Fedberg. Stefan Edberg in the box. They're ready to go. As Brad, it sounds like you're couching your pick there, telling us you only had 5 minutes to do it. And there's Yvonne Lendl, always in Murray's box. Let's get to our box and the guys calling the match. It's Chris Fowler and Patrick McEnroe, and Darren Cahill is courtside tonight. Chris?
Always interesting to see how BG's mind works. Stefan Edberg is trumped by the Murray head-to-head edge of 11-9 and 3 of the last 4. Well, I can hit you with a lot of different angles. Let's begin with the Federer serve. He's only been broken once in this tournament. How does he manage that if it's not a great serving net? How can he work around it?
Well, I think that the switch to the racket, the bigger head racket, is part of the reason he switched to that was for his serve. Not just the first serve, but the second serve. And I think that's going to be key for Federer tonight, is if he hits his spots on his first serve, which he was able to do against Tsonga, but also if he can not get hurt, Chris, on his second serve, because Murray has been very, very effective at returning the second serve of all players, but especially Federer. So that's going to be very crucial for Roger to serve well and to win a good percentage of points on the second serve.
Now, when Murray's serving, a year ago, Federer was only able to create 6 breakpoint chances against Murray. Only broke him in 1 of the 5 sets.
Yeah, I think Federer came into that match a little bit fatigued. Remember, he had beaten Tsonga in a 5-setter. Murray had a lot of confidence at that point. And to be perfectly honest, Murray really thoroughly outplayed him. Federer, just on determination, was able to get it to 5. But Murray ran away with the fifth set. I think Federer is playing better at this moment. He's more confident. He's moving very well. And I think things are right for him to have a great chance to get back into a semifinal here.
Brad said the odds makers make this man the slight favorite. Is he your pick tonight?
He's my pick tonight. I like Federer. I think he's going to capitalize on the fact that Murray hasn't had a ton of matches. But that being said, Murray's still going to be a very, very tough out. They're 3-1 head-to-head in majors, but it's been a couple of years.
Murray wants to wait a little bit. This night session is a little strange. They didn't get enough time to do a traditional turnaround, and lots of the seats are still empty. They'll fill quickly, but an unusual atmosphere at the start.
Been a couple of years since Roger's been able to beat Murray, obviously, in a major, last year being the only time they played in the 2013 year here down under.
Chris McHenry said the first time in their head-to-head that Federer comes in as the lower-ranked player. Still strange to see a 6 next to his name. The bad news for his fans is that if he loses this match, he'll drop even farther in the actual live ATP rankings. He's actually down at number 8 with Wawrinka moving ahead based on his semifinal progression. Rankings not on Roger's mind at the moment, however.
I think the racket's helping Federer. I also think the conditions, as you see a view from our bunker here, it's awesome to see the movement of the players down here. Is the speed of the court, I believe, is a little bit quicker than it's been. Remember, Djokovic, Wawrinka last year went 5 hours. This year they played the same amount of sets. It was a full hour less.
Renee Stubbs, doubles player and Aussie, says she's come here for 2+ decades. Never seen the courts play faster than they are right now. Court side, Darren Cahill, what's your take tonight, Killer?
Well, I think the big thing to watch out for is how Roger Federer starts this match, because I know he has unbelievable respect for Andy Murray, but he's going to say, hey, buddy, I know you had a back operation about 4 months ago. I know you can play at this level, but can you play at this level tonight so early off this back operation? Practice is one thing, but playing matches against the best players in the world is a completely different thing. So I think Federer is going to throw a bunch of thunderbolts down at Murray in this first set to see if he can handle it. Perfect night also, guys.
Darren, how Roger drops these little hints right away. After beating Song, he talked about Murray's back, and Andy has to have questions. This is already a great result for him to make the quarterfinals so soon after surgery.
Just a very slight breeze tonight. It's perfect conditions here, but a very slight breeze coming from the end Andy Murray is playing from. So he's playing with the breeze. Even though it doesn't feel that much, you know it always does play a part here on this court.
But it's died down some since the Nadal-Dimitrov match. It was more of a factor late this afternoon.
Couple of backhand errors from Murray.
That's one of those second serves down to the 70s, just at 77, and Federer comes out in his first service game, makes all 5 first serves. Murray hasn't found the rhythm yet.
Murray's beefed up the second serve a lot over the last 5 years. See the towel going down from Mr. Edberg. Says, I don't want that camera in the box here.
They've done that every match. It's a camera in both coaching boxes that they have a philosophical problem with, it looks like. That's all right. We'll get plenty of cutaways anyway.
Yeah. It's not like he has a ton of expressions up there. It's just like when he played. He was icy cool.
There's the hat covering the camera, but there's lots of others.
Oh, that's the Murray side.
Cam. Okay.
So they
say
covered it up too. Lendl said, if you're going to do that, I'm going to, yeah.
If Edberg can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
That's a little more thorough job in the Fedberg camp.
Severin Lucci's got a regular seat here every night between Wawrinka and Federer.
Pretty good one. You know, with the Stans win last night, the matchup tomorrow against Berdych, Swiss fans are daring to dream about an all-Swiss final here.
That's right.
Lots of work to be done, particularly on Federer's side.
Well, this is a shot that when Federer is making this shot, the backhand down the line, good things tend to happen for him.
Interesting, the guys in the studio spotting the tension on Federer's face as he walked down the hall. He usually doesn't betray much. I'm used to thinking him as so calm, possessed. But as you said, this is a big match for him. It was a statement win a couple nights ago. Another chance tonight.
Well, it's really a chance for him to sort of, I'm not going to say re-announce, but sort of reclaim the fact that he's a legitimate threat in every tournament he plays. And, you know, look, the numbers tell the story of last year. He's still Roger Federer. We all know that. He's won 17 majors. But he only won 1 title last year. And he wasn't a big factor in any of the majors except making the semis here. He just wasn't.
The title was in Halle, in grass.
That's nicely done.
Murray's first trip to net.
Does have a very weird feel to the stadium at the moment. It's only about half full. I dare say after this third game, there's going to be a mad rush to the seats.
Very unusual the seats aren't filled right at the beginning of night session, but as I said, the timing a little bit thrown off. Well, the fans will make their mad rush to the seats on serve early in the first.
Wow, this hotel is amazing.
Oh, no.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Wrong answer.
Wait, Daddy, this is Blair. He booked this room with Priceline Express deals and saved a ton.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have to bid, and I got everything I wanted.
Oh, good.
I always do.
Oh, good. He seemed nice.
Express Deals. Priceline savings without the bidding.
If you or a loved one used a prescription testosterone patch, cream, gel, deodorant, or spray and suffered a stroke, blood clot, pulmonary embolism, or died, you may be entitled to money damages. A recent medical study was stopped when it was discovered that men using testosterone supplements were nearly 30% more likely to suffer a blood clot, stroke, or die than men who didn't take testosterone. If you or a loved one used prescription testosterone and suffered a pulmonary embolism, blood clot, stroke, or died, call Schachter, Hendy, and Johnson at 1-800-660-3213.
Our IBM Insights give you a chance to narrow focus on one particular category, which will indicate a player's likelihood of winning the set. Goes back to 9 years of data, looks at the head-to-head, and there have been 20 of them between these guys. Take surface into account. Patrick has chosen one key stat for each guy, which will increase their chances. Give you Murray's momentarily.
From now. Thank you.
For Murray, Chris, I thought it was important for him in the longer rallies, the 4 to 9 shot rallies. If he wins more than 56% of those, he's got a very strong likelihood of winning the set. Interesting so far in the rallies between 0 and 4 shots, the quick points, 8-1 in favor of Federer.
He's got a couple of aces.
Please, ladies and
he
gentlemen,
figures to dominate that.
Thank you.
Pascal Maria scolding people. It's still a very slow filling Rod Laver Arena.
The other fans scolded them. Wait, what are we in New York here?
What does Roger have to do?
Well, I think for Roger, obviously, so much relies on his serve and the return, you know, getting the point started. So win more than 54% of his second serve points. That's a pretty big number. And if he can do that, that means he's probably going to win a lot of free points on his first serve. The likelihood of him winning the set, 84%.
Against a tough returner like Murray, he's only had to play 1 second serve. First couple of service games. Made 9 of 10. Kind of a feeling out process here. It wasn't quite the guns blazing start sort of expected from Federer.
No. That's a brilliant backhand there.
He's already been in about 5 or 6 times, hasn't he?
That's 6 for 6 so far. Yeah.
15-13.
We've always known that Federer has great volleys, but I think the key for him, at least in the last match in the beginning here, is a transition shot. No doubt, confident, stepping in, being aggressive. Another transition play right there. I mean, the quick strike attack from Federer, that's when he was dominating the game. It was so instinctive for him. And over the last few years, as the defenders have gotten better, he's become a little bit more reactive, and that's hurt him. His instincts are showing a bit more at the moment.
Now, can he grab his first break point chances of the match? This has been the problem against the top players in recent years.
Next. Second service.
How routine was that?
Big difference from the semifinal here a year ago, the most recent meeting when Federer had to wait till the 4th set to break Murray. Grabs the first break chance And a quick miss by Andy. That could free him up.
If it does, look out if you're a Murray fan. Federer's always been, Chris, a great spot server. He's never been an overpowering type of server. So the condition's a little bit quicker, a little more juice on with his racket. All he's got to do on this court in his own head is hit my spots. It's his spots. Going to win a lot more cheap points. On a slower conditions, heavier balls, much more difficult to do that.
He's been spot on so far with serve. Still missed just one first serve. Tremendous serving start for Federer. 4-1.
The Masters, coming in April to ESPN.
In 15 seconds, IBM Watson can cross-reference the symptoms of 1 million cancer patients to help doctors design better treatments. Watson is helping doctors fight cancer. Let's build a smarter planet. In 15 seconds, IBM Watson can analyze 200 million pages of clinical data to help researchers discover new effective treatments. Watson is helping researchers make breakthroughs. Let's build a smarter planet.
Like a laneway leading to another world. Like an oyster holds a secret, holds a pearl. Ooh, ooh, on this new night. Ooh, ooh, on the starlight. On this new night. On this new night, we will stay.
Welcome back to the Australian Open 2014, presented by Franklin Templeton Investments.
Roger Federer off the mark quickly, out of his chair quickly, popped up, ready to go.
Yeah.
And Murray's looking for something else from his rackets.
Yeah, Murray had a couple of his rackets sent out with the ball kid, 2 of his rackets, in fact, to get them restrung.
Conditions also a lot different in the nighttime than what they are during the day, and Murray's been playing during the day across in Hisense Arena and much slower during the night, so I would think that he sent them out to get them strung looser.
Looser to get a little more easy pop, Darren?
Exactly.
Well, the guy on the other side's got some easy pop so far. Yeah, that's just ripped. Absolutely scorched that backhand.
But still staying in his shoes. I think that's been the big difference in this match so far. In the Tsonga match, it's the first time Rogers relaxed with the racket and just put his normal swing on the ball. In Brisbane, I thought he was really trying to force it, and he's gone to this racket for the easy power that the racket will provide. He needs to let the racket do the work for him.
Against Tsonga, we saw almost none of those shanks off either side. They become a more familiar component to his matches, missing badly, incredibly clean against Joe. When he was missing, it was maybe a couple inches.
30-15.
Murray's beefed up, as I said earlier, Chris, that first serve. His second serve is still, for a player of his caliber, relatively weak compared to how big his first serve has become over the last couple of years. He's 1 of 6 on his second serve points in this match so far.
That little chip shot in the corner from Federer, who read that serve very well.
30.
Ron Lendo get ready for this match tonight by relaxing on the golf course. Well,
okay.
A little golf this afternoon.
That's how he used to relax when he was winning majors, too.
Even on the days he played?
I don't think he's that relaxed at the moment.
No.
He would always want to play early when he played, I remember, at the U.S. Open, so he could get out and get in a quick 9. After the match. Yep. That's a great pass from Andy Murray, but he's had to come up with 2 great passing shots to stay in this game. And I think that's a positive sign for Federer. He's forcing Murray to have to hit those kind of passing shots. Match is completely being played at the moment on Federer's terms.
Yeah, Murray.
Murray holds for 4-2. An action-packed Thursday night showcase on ESPN2 this week at 7 Eastern. SEC Gators against the Crimson Tide at 9 o'clock. Top team in the nation takes the court. Arizona Wildcats hosting Golden Buffaloes of Colorado.
Oh, okay.
All right. A good year for Colorado hoops.
All right. See,
tough assignment there
yeah.
in Tucson, but
that's going to be tough.
Good year.
Oh, yes, on the line.
Challenge for Murray.
Yep. On the left near side. Ball was calling.
Right on the fat part of the line.
Murray has 2 challenges remaining.
Stringer is at work, working on the 2 rackets that Murray sent out, wanting to drop a couple pounds in tension.
Well, we found out, our spies found out that, of course, you know, Darren does a lot of things. We know that, but he's a racket doctor. He knows everything about the rackets and the strings. He was right. It was 58 pounds for Murray coming out on the court. He's asked those 2 rackets to be strung at 56, just as Darren predicted.
That's why you pay me the big bucks.
Exactly.
Again, if you haven't noticed, the coolness of the night causes the play to be a little slower. So you drop the tension a couple pounds, get a little more pace on the ball. And as Darren said, it's not like Murray's had a lot of time on Rod Laver Arena. He grabbed a few minutes before the doubles guys were practicing last night ahead of the Djokovic-Wawrinka match.
That's a great shot.
Beautiful.
Really great shot there. Actually a well-hit backhand, I thought, from Federer across court. But Murray used the angle beautifully. Had to really quickly get out there so he could get enough of his body weight behind that shot. And the first real pressure point on Federer's own serve, Chris. took a little bit off the first serve, but immediately came forward with this approach. Again, the transition game and the dropper.
Early rounds, which are very easy. You saw Federer coming forward. The question was, against a big hitter like Tsonga, would he be as intent upon doing it? The answer, yes. On a very high percentage of net points against the Frenchman. With 11 of 13 at the net so far tonight.
Never has a World Cup final produced such a finish. Here comes Mr. Perpetual Motion again. He's got the acceleration. It's there for the takedown. It's great. Really, what a shot. It's incredible. The very fine act of the drama. You could not write a script like this.
Like a laneway leading to another world. Like an oyster holds a secret, holds a pearl. Ooh, ooh, on this new night. Ooh, ooh, under starlight. On this new night. On this new night we will stay.
Well, inside the point, Chris, you talked about that spot serving of Federer. He's been brilliant so far early on in this opening set. The wide one, just 2 aces. That's we showed you both of them down the middle, wide. And Murray is doing all sorts of reacting at the moment to what's happening over there. And a big reason, a big part of that reason is that serve and the spot serving effectiveness tonight.
Normally, Andy's a pretty good reader of the serves. Rogers is pretty tough to read, Andy would say, but he hopes that he can begin to see it better as the match goes on, or he'll be in big trouble.
Still waiting for fans to take their seats. Murray serving to stay in the set with new balls.
Love 15.
Same time slot, 48 hours from now. Nadal against the winner here on ESPN. That is so tough. There's a big bend on that serve coming into a righty's backhand. Much tougher for a one-hander to deal with that.
You can just see by the tempo of the points, Chris, that the court's playing quicker because there's a lot of bang bang tennis, and I think that plays into Federer's hands a little bit. Even the points Murray's winning really being played more on Federer's terms.
Courts, of course, are repaved. The mix can be slightly different year to year. The tennis balls also, the players feel slightly lighter, which makes things play quicker as well this year. Murray, when he was asked, said, "Nah, it's about the same." Nadal thought it was much faster than 2 years ago. The most recent time he had played this event, Roger admitted it was a little bit faster.
Right, you know, it could be the balls. I mean, the balls could be the reason that it. But the bottom line is the court's playing. The conditions are playing faster.
It's been a pretty fast set. It's 29 minutes as Federer serves for it.
Beautiful pickup by Federer there.
Murray made it very tricky, didn't he? And he sprinted to that, got there in plenty of time.
59.
There's a pickup.
Yeah, it's a half volley.
Sharp as Federer. That was a half volley from near the baseline from that point.
Yeah, the ball's skipping through the court. And that's just fine for Roger Federer. We know what he's been able to do on a similar court when the ball stays low at Wimbledon. Well, that's no problem for him. It's the high balls, the slower, high bouncing balls that give him more trouble. Tried to get a ball with a little air and get it up on Federer's backhand side, and guess what happened? Watch, all these balls are right in the strike zone in the backhand, so it doesn't bother him, and then one's left hanging. Good night.
Quick to step around and make that an inside-out forehand. 3 set points.
Oh!
Continuation of Federer's form against Tsonga. Pretty routine opening set, 6-3.
Get up, get out of your bed now. And waste your time. 'Cause it's a beautiful day now. It'll be just fine. 'Cause the sun is up now. We're ready to rise and shine.
They told me I was racing a squirrel. How hard could that be? I get off to a big lead. I look back thinking I've got it in the bag. That squirrel was a ringer. It was completely embarrassing, but I was on SportsCenter.
I was too.
Get even more from Dish with Dish Perks. What do we mean by perks? Dish Perks are all the free extras you get just by being a Dish customer. Like an entire month of free previews. No one else gives you that. And chances to win trips, cash, iPads, and TVs. Plus exclusive programming and behind-the-scenes footage no one else can give you. Best of all, Dish Perks are free. Enjoy all these extras for nothing extra. To learn more, visit dishperks.com and enjoy the perks of being a Dish customer.
Are you a man over 40 and feeling tired, losing muscle, have less romantic drive? Then call now for the Ageless Male free testosterone giveaway. Every man who calls in the next few minutes will receive a free 30-day supply of Ageless Male. Ageless Male has ingredients clinically shown to support free testosterone levels, and that supports muscle health, promotes romantic drive, and supports energy metabolism. Your free 30-day supply is waiting for you. Call now.
Well, Federer was feeling tension walking on this court. Certainly hasn't shown. Very relaxed, free-flowing Federer, having his way with Murray so far.
13 of 15 for Federer coming into the net in the opening set. Murray 1 for 2. Murray's still looking at his strings. I wonder when those freshly strung sticks are going to make it their way to the court. That first set happened so quickly.
Yeah. Now, we got a spy cam in there. They're still working on the first of the two sent out. They're close.
Yeah, those super fast stringers can get it done in, I think, 15, maybe 20 minutes max. But what's he listening to there? Is he pumping himself up?
String music.
Touche.
Sorry. I think Murray's trying to get himself pumped up here early in the set. He knows he's got to make a statement. Come on after that first point. Challenge from Federer.
Federer future challenges Romania.
Yeah, look out. I mean, if Murray leaves anything hanging right now, Federer's just jumping all over it. This one slightly mishit. Federer jumps on it, and that was absolutely ripped. Got it.
Variety of skills on display at that point. How about Federer with the beautiful lob? Murray retreating quickly to flick that backhand overhead.
40-30.
Terrific defending from Federer in that rally. Murray should have been able to put it away at net. 23-shot rally.
Murray needs something to get himself going. Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Two of his bigger serves. And that was his fastest of the night.
First game, second set.
It was Tsonga a couple nights ago who just kind of looked helpless and a little confused. He goes, this is a new Roger. I really haven't quite seen this kind of level for as long as Federer showed against a guy who had beaten him on some big stages.
Murray in general presents a few more problems from a matchup standpoint. I think obviously Tsonga can overpower Federer as he's done on some big occasions, including coming back from 2 sets at Wimbledon. But Murray's got way more versatility to his game.
Murray turning the corner on the left baseline. Ball was called out.
Murray trying to go deep and heavy to Rogers' backhand. And that did catch the line of that break. says, thank you very much. We'll replay the point and end it quickly.
Pascal Maria in the chair, veteran of many of these big matches in the majors.
Commiserate about back problems. Of course, we've mentioned Murray's surgery, something he elected to do after the U.S. Open. It wasn't really required. It was a choice he made to relieve the pain. Rogers' lack of back pain in this offseason allowed him to do a 4-week training block in Dubai. 1 week in which Edberg was there, but really he feels sets himself up for a good year.
Well, Murray's trying to step around and dictate a little bit more with the forehand, which, as Brad Gilbert talked about before the match, is something he wants to try to do. He can't rely, I believe, because of the conditions here, on defending. He's going to have to play more offense.
That's the other big factor of this new racket for Roger, is that with the power, he can defend it a little bit easier, because I always felt like his old racket, it was quite flexible and it used to sort of buckle with the power. This one does not. It helps him.
So a stiffer frame as well as being 8 square inches bigger face.
Yeah, it's a little wider as well, so it just gives him a bit of help when these guys, these big servers, are serving bombs at him, or they're playing for the power from the back of the court, especially the ball that comes, it's like the half volleyball deep to the baseline. He can just put the racket there and let the racket do the work for him. The other frame, he had to really wrist it and go after it.
And this is what all the other players have been using, you know, as they're growing up too. Right. So they're completely used to it. It's not like he's doing anything. He's actually got with the norm now.
Sure.
From what I'm seeing so far in the Tsonga match and in this match, Chris, it's allowing him to play within himself more. He doesn't feel like he has to go for anything big. That's a great shot.
Has to find a way to blunt the success Federer's had at net. That's one way. Once again tonight, the reflexes, the movement, it's all there.
Yeah, the little extra power when he's stretched wide. Darren talking about that. Look at the little flick of the wrist. Clean winner up the line.
40-15. First service.
Murray's better serving games. 2-1.
Murray leads.
Wow, this hotel is amazing.
Oh, no.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Wrong answer.
Wait, Daddy, this is Blair. He booked this room with Priceline Express deals and saved a ton.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have to bid, and I got everything I wanted.
Oh, good.
I always do.
Oh, good. He seemed nice.
Express deals. Priceline savings without the bidding.
Okay, you both say you're the best value, but who's telling the truth?
I am. $29.99 a month.
DirecTV, your average customer ends up paying over $105 a month.
No, that's a myth. Like a unicorn.
What do Dish customers pay?
30% less. That's an average savings of over $320 a year with Dish.
This is not coming off.
Guess the facts don't lie.
Don't be fooled. You save with Dish.
Murray gets the new sticks. 2 pounds less tension for more power. Let's see if he unwraps them and uses them.
Didn't look to me like he was going to use those new sticks. Interesting.
Thank you. Take your seat, please.
So he did unwrap.
Oh, he did.
One of the new
Okay.
rackets. Yeah. So he's got the slight breeze at his back. He's got a little bit looser tension for more pop. All he's got to do now is get into a Federer service game. Hasn't had a break point yet. Hasn't gotten close.
There you go. He took it out of the back. I think
how messy. He just leaves the trash right there. The court, the wrapper.
I think he's going to worry about the rackets that are in the hands of the guy on the other side a little more at this point.
Hearing from people, Patrick, back in our home area of New York with 14 inches on the ground, snow, Long Island, blizzard in Manhattan. So you don't want to hear about it. It's a nice, cool 64 degrees here tonight, right?
Chilly here.
Better for Murray. You saw Federer coming in, took a real cut at the return, actually backed Roger up a little bit.
15.
He's definitely got more positive body language now. He's, as you said, Chris, early on in this set, he's going to pump himself up. Got his first lead on a Federer service game at 15-30 now. Rogers comfortable. Remember the 30-all point early in the set. He's comfortable taking a little bit off the first serve when he needs it, Chris, because the court's helping him. He gets a return he can work with, and he's feeling awfully confident on that forehand side at the moment. Getting a ball just above the knees, and he hits it for a clean winner.
Murray was there. Nasty wide serve, but even on the stretch, just hit the tape. So Federer holds from 2-all. I'm told that Murray kind of tricked this. He takes the new racket out. That's the one that was restrung.
Trying to feel the tension.
The wrapper's there. Oh, sets it down.
He's thinking about
it's
it.
The old sleight of hand, though. Which one's he going to go for?
He's thinking about what to do. He's okay. Do I want to? Maybe I'm starting to feel a little better now. I'm up 2-1.
He had a good service game the last time before this changeover. The suspense is killing me, guys. Would you?
There he goes. He got the other one.
Murray exhaling. Federer flew up and got there in time. So after all that, he stays with the same tension.
Yeah. Federer makes the tough one here and misses a relatively easy shot.
I have a feeling Murray's going to need a few more misses from Federer to turn this around. Pulled off it.
It's a bad miss there. Federer didn't get a lot on that return. And Murray's pressing a little bit on the forehand. He's trying to go big when he can. This guy knew how to go big on the forehand.
With the small racket.
Yeah.
How much better would Lendl have been with the rackets and the strings of today?
He would have been
monster
a lot better, but so would everybody else.
Yeah, I know, but
yeah.
He didn't miss that many forehands.
He played a version of the game that's become very common today, the big serve, the big forehand.
Let for service.
Got it.
And Federer hooks it in that return. The backhand when he gets up high like that with that kind of control is impossible to beat.
Yeah, this is normally a shot that gives him some trouble. High, that one was shoulder height, and he just timed it perfectly, didn't try to do too much. Clean winner.
Pressing a bit now?
Absolutely.
He's not getting a lot of free points off this first serve against Roger, and he normally does.
Yeah, last game was the first time that he kind of broke through and did that. Now, chance for Federer, who grabbed his only break opportunity in the first set.
Let for service.
Another forehand error. He's going to challenge, but that was wide. That was a gift right there.
Pressing big time. It wasn't even really that close. So Federer, 2 for 2 on break conversions.
How does an investment manager build portfolios to stand the test of time? At Franklin Templeton, 60 years of investing through every kind of market has taught us to manage risk as vigilantly as we seek reward. This solid approach has made us a leading equity fund manager. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective. Ask your advisor for a full or summary prospectus with investment goals, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
In 15 seconds, IBM Watson can analyze terabytes of data to help operators quickly find answers to a caller's question. Soon, Watson will help transform customer service. Let's build a smarter planet.
In 15 seconds, IBM Watson can read 10 million financial reports, so planners can recommend better investments. Soon, Watson will help improve financial planning. Let's build a smarter planet.
Well, one of the areas I was looking for as we go inside the point is a Federer transition game, which has been spot on. Look at the middle of this rally. Gets Murray on the move, plays the chip backhand. Another chip backhand, looking for his opportunity. Here comes Friese. Right there, and Federer seizes on the opportunity. Now let it roll, guys. Now watch how he quickly moves forward. As soon as he sees Murray's on the defensive and he's wrong-footed him, he gets in. Routine volley winner. Textbook transition.
And an ace to start this game.
15.
Federer is so good at stretching the lead when he gets it. Murray going to pay dearly for the missed forehands in his last service game.
This is really interesting. Last year's match at the Australian Open between these two, Federer was inside the baseline only 25% of the time. So far tonight, almost 50%. That's a monster difference.
Something else you notice in last year's match, that the cluster of shots directed at Federer's backhand. Right. It's much more even tonight, as Murray hasn't been able to find that, hasn't had time to find that side. See the difference on the left there, the cluster in that backhand side.
I really believe the biggest reason for that are the conditions out here. And Federer's sharper. Federer's able to do more with his backhand. So that means the rallies are shorter, and he's able to get out of that, the hole of the backhand corner much easier. And of course, that's helping as well, Federer coming in. And you know what? He'll give up some points like that. We've seen Murray hit 2 great topspin lob winners. We've seen him hit a couple of forehand passing shot winners that have been excellent. But Federer's fine with that because he's ahead in the game. He's continuing to make Murray play on his terms.
Chance for Murray is still waiting for his first break point tonight. Even to get to deuce has been rare.
Federer's just made the commitment that he's going to keep moving forward. And it's paying off.
Yes.
And it's 2 times now on big points that he's been sitting on that wide swinging serve out to the forehand, and both times he's tried to hammer the return.
And that last one, Federer didn't even hit his spot on the serve. That time he does. It's a big hold there for Roger. He actually played a couple of loose points in that game, but he doesn't pay the price. Typical Federer speed, Chris, in this match. 6-3, 4-2, just 1 hour of play.
Conversation about the slight difference in the weight of the ball affecting how the court plays, and kind of an ongoing conversation about sort of what the fans want, what's sort of good for the sport. Did they enjoy seeing those wars of attrition a couple of years ago, a 5-hour and 53-minute final, Djokovic and Nadal playing rally after rally, tougher to hit through the court that year? Do they want to see faster points? But it's easier to hold serve, and you get fewer opportunities to break and get into rallies when a guy's serving well.
It's a great conversation, and you're always trying to find the balance. You know, when Wimbledon made the decision to go to making the grass a bit harder so the ball bounced a little bit more to get away from just the big servers.
Just taking over the net tonight. And finished points with beautiful shots like that.
Stefan Edberg will be smiling after this one. The full stretch backhand volley.
I'll take this type of tennis any day.
Yeah, I mean, this is fun.
Sure, I think the baseline battles were fun too. I think Wimbledon made a good choice what they did, what you mentioned. Federer's complaint in recent years has been that hard courts have become slower. Too slow, his way of thinking. Edberg went absolutely nuts after that beautiful volley winner.
I knew he would.
Roger, I mean, just
look at that.
Crazy
reaction. He is going crazy. So that, yeah.
For him, that's a lot, right?
Yeah, I remember he said I hit a couple like that.
In the day matches, Stefan's been cool behind those aviator glasses. This is the game with his fifth ace, trying to maintain contact, but still down a set and a break.
In today's global economy, spotting smart investments requires expertise from the ground up, seeing first what others see eventually. At Franklin Templeton, we have hundreds of experts across the globe with local insight that gives us a broader perspective for navigating world markets. This approach has helped us achieve great heights in global investing for over 60 years. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
IBM is helping hundreds of energy companies work smarter. Vestas can analyze 13 years of climate data to know a wind turbine here will perform better than one just a few feet away. IBM is helping hundreds of healthcare companies work smarter. McKesson used analytics in the cloud to design a more efficient supply chain, helping save over $1 billion in working capital.
Welcome back to the Australian Open 2014, presented by Franklin Templeton Investments.
Beautiful day in Melbourne. And the sun is set. A cool evening here. A very hot start for Federer. Just building on what he did against Tsonga, against an even tougher opponent. Roger likes to check out the highlights on the board after points a lot of times. So does Murray, for that matter.
Interesting. Roger took that one in the air, but it was low. But he was still able to get a nice angle on it, drop it short, and had Murray at full stretch.
And he's picked up his game here.
He's working a few more opportunities, isn't he?
Yeah, he sure is. That last service game that he held was really important for him as well. That was an opportunity. He's got a little breeze at his back here. This is a big chance.
As a lead, still hasn't had a break point. Took a big hop forward to return that second serve and just pushed it long.
Yeah,
he's mad at himself.
Yeah, he should be. 15-30, second serve. Got to make that return. That's what he's telling himself.
Does that big kind of split step move forward as the serve's in the air. Just mistimed it. And Federer knows that Andy's raised his game. Another backhand push long. Gets Federer to game point for 5-3.
Federer challenge call on the left service line. Ball was called out. Second
serve coming. Federer from 15-30 down doesn't make a first serve, but still holds 5-3. NBA action, 8 o'clock Eastern, Wednesday night on ESPN. Thunder versus the Spurs at 10:30. The Pacers on a roll face the Suns. NBA Wednesday presented by State Farm on ESPN and the Watch ESPN app.
This is a perfect example to me, Chris, this last point of why Federer is in control of this match, because Murray going after the backhand repeatedly in that point wasn't able to gain an advantage in the point by going to the backhand. Federer was able to defend it easily, then finally get a forehand to work with and force the error from Murray. You want to tell me it's the racket, you want to tell me it's the confidence, you want to tell me it's the conditions, maybe it's a combination of all of that. But Federer, Murray's not able to get to his backhand as easy tonight as he was a year ago.
That'll be a key issue if Federer wins this match a couple nights from now against Mr. Nadal, who's made a career of getting at Rogers' backhand.
Yeah, that's also
first. Sorry,
that's the thing also when we talk about the draw opening up, but it's really the other side of the draw, not really for these two guys, because the bogey guy for these two guys waiting in the semi-final, Nadal. Both have struggled against Nadal in recent years.
Who do you think Rafa would prefer to play if you were being honest between these two guys in the semifinals? Tough question.
It's tough. I mean, normally I'd say Federer. The last couple of years, that is just wide. The way Federer's playing at the moment, I'm not so sure. Interesting question.
I'm sure anybody wants to play Federer the way Rogers is playing right now. Darren, I'm going to ask you. You have a point to think about it. Who would Rafa rather play?
You know, Chris, we spoke about this earlier today. I think before watching Federer play tonight, I would have said Federer, but just seeing him settle in here so easily to these points, yeah, I would lean towards Murray. But listen, Nadal takes nothing for granted. He would be sitting back watching this, appreciating the tennis, and knowing that he's got the type of game that gives both of these guys a lot of trouble.
Those backhands from Federer just have so much zip on him, Chris. And that's allowing him this one. I mean, he ripped this, and Murray, he's got Murray on his back heels, and then he unloads the next shot, the forehand. Just beating Murray for sheer pace.
Federer within 2 points of a 2-set lead.
14-13.
Federer will serve for it next.
Tonight,
Duncan on the finish.
San Antonio,
Weaving through and curling it home.
OKC. The best in the West square off.
Jackson, throws it down there.
Paul George's Pacers.
George, that was fun.
Indiana brings the East best record to the desert against the Rising Suns. The NBA on ESPN. Thunder Spurs at 8 Eastern. Pacers Suns at 10:30. Presented by State Farm. Tonight.
Like a laneway leading to another world. Like an oyster holds a secret, holds a pearl. Ooh, ooh, on this new night. Ooh, ooh, on the starlight. On this new night. On this new night we will stay.
So open up responsibly and show your...
It's been a better second set for Murray, but the one service game when he missed a couple routine forehands helped Federer along to the break. And Mr. Laver in his house, many of his fans would wonder, you know, if he had continued to play majors in those years when he turned pro and took himself out of the ring, well, how many would he have? What would the total be?
Probably
unknowable.
Yeah, a lot more.
That's the president of Tennis Australia sitting next to him on his left, Stephen Healy.
It's nice. Mr. Laver can leave his home in California and come down under. It's right above us, Patrick. Does that give you a tingle of excitement?
Goosebumps, absolutely. The Rocket's amazing.
It's good.
No call. Wow.
Thought for sure it was going to float, and he kind of gives a little bark to the linesman and nods his head and says, yeah, I'm sure it was good.
Yeah. Stefan's wondering what's going on here. Well, Federer obviously could have challenged it.
He was caught off guard.
Good call by the linesman. There's a
very rare error in judgment.
Yeah, don't you know who I am? I'm Roger Federer, supposed to call it out when I say it's out. Well, didn't fall for it. Roger goes right back to work. Good first serve. Jumps on the short reply.
15 on.
All kids always get applause for a nice catch here. Landed cricket. Murray going to work in the Federer backhand, but Roger able to turn the point around.
I mean, that's the kind of point Murray wants to play. Move the ball around, get Federer on the move, but it's not really bothering Federer tonight. Those longer rallies, he's been right in there. 23-shot rally.
Holding up superbly. Murray thinking, give me just one look at a break point, just one. Hasn't had one yet tonight.
Missed it.
Murray probing throughout the point. Looking for an opening. And then just pulled the string.
14-13.
Good tennis near the end of the second set. And Federer now a chance to grab it. Move within a set of the semifinals. Federer with all the answers so far. And Murray in a deep hole on Rod Laver Arena.
When I heard the sound of the ball coming off the bat, I just knew I had to get it. I'm not going to drop this ball. Sometimes you have to experience a little pain to taste the glory. Scratches heal, but being on SportsCenter, now that's forever.
Dish customers, now you can get the high-speed internet you've been waiting for with DishNet.
We live out in the middle of nowhere. Really, until DishNet came out, there's really not any option but dial-up.
I live in a really small town. I love to Skype with my husband. He's deployed. Having good, reliable internet is very important. If I didn't have the Dish internet, it wouldn't have been able to happen.
Now Dish has the high-speed internet you've been waiting for. DishNet gives you speeds as fast as 4G.
We live out in the middle of nowhere. We had to drive 20 miles into town to check our email, and DishNet has us completely covered.
Now you can connect for less. Call now to get high-speed internet and save $10 a month with DishNet.
With DishNet, we can do anything on the internet we want to do.
Don't settle for slow internet ever again. Dish customers, call the number on your screen now to get DishNet high-speed internet and save $10 a month. Don't wait any longer. Get DishNet today.
Flashback. Lendl versus Edberg. And Wimbledon, of course. Stefan. Patented serve and volley. Nice smile from Ivan. Lendl able to turn the tables down under. Back when the courts were green. At this point, a little different than some of the points we've seen tonight. Return just chipped. Edberg pushes it long. Overall, 14 majors between them. 8 for Lendl and 6 for Edberg. We'll show you the career head-to-head of these two legends in the coaching box. It's been a real thrill for fans around the world. These two, plus, of course, Becker, who's now headed out with Djokovic.
I think it's been a thrill. It's been a thrill for all of us, but I think even for these top players now, I think they've enjoyed it. Having the legends of the game around and really involved in the game.
Overall head-to-head, slight edge for Edberg. Same in the head-to-head at majors. And down here, overall 11-9 for Lendl. Team Fedberg and Team Ivandi.
Okay, I like that. All right.
Actually, Stefan was one of the very few players that had a winning head-to-head record against Ivan.
And he did it by coming to net, didn't he? Putting pressure on Lendl. And he's, I think, gotten a little bit in the head of Federer about, you know what, you can do that a little bit more, too.
Ivan's enjoyed the fact that both Djokovic and Roger have taken to the idea of bringing on legends as coaches. And then refused to acknowledge that it had anything to do with Murray choosing Lendl. Lendl goes, yeah, right. Well, Murray in danger now. Must find a way to hold to begin the third set and hope that Federer's level comes down. He's been hoping that for about an hour and a half. It hadn't happened.
shot. That is some brilliant defending from Federer there. Slides in, plays this little slice forehand here. And look at this. And again, the ball's low. So that's Federer. That's easier for him to handle. That's a ridiculous flick pass.
Murray trying everything. Coming forward there. Drawn in. And Federer has been so opportunistic. It's been a key. Grabbing great chances. 2 for 2 so far.
That was a really good pickup from Murray because Federer cranked that return.
You know, points that have been won without either man being at the net tonight, it's about even. But Federer has gained a huge edge with his net points, just like the Tsonga match. The baseline points, even in that 3-setter, were pretty even.
Yep. It's been dominant. That's the transition game right there from Federer. And what I like about what he's doing in the transition game, as I said, there's just no hesitation. As soon as he sees the opportunity, he's coming forward, and his net skills, superb.
There's a third chance in this game to grab the break. On hard courts last year, Patrick, only 37% breakpoint conversion for Roger. It's a big key for 2014. And Murray able to save a third of the game.
Yes. Murray hasn't come in that much, but picks a good time to sneak in behind a big first serve.
At 37% last year. That was a sharp decline from the year before. It didn't seem like a lot, 7% difference, but it is. There are margins that decide these matches.
Well, it just feels like Andy has had very few of those unreturned serves. The couple of times that he's beaten him in big matches, Federer's missed a ton of returns, but struggled to miss any tonight. He's returning beautifully.
It was one of Murray's faster serves tonight so far, 126. He tried all kinds of things. Hard, fast shots. He put a little air on the shot to try to get Roger to produce a short ball.
Finally wrong-footed him there with that forehand. Federer was looking for it into the forehand corner.
Head faked him.
Yeah, it was a really good game there. Good hold, saving 3 break points.
And Andy's into this now as well. We kind of figured the first set, first time for quite a while playing at this level, it might be a bit of a slow start for Murray. But since the first set, you know, he hasn't had any breakpoint opportunities. He's had one, but it's been much better since that first set. You can just see it in his face as well. He's into this, and this is not going to be a walkover in the third set for Federer. He's going to have to earn this. How many breakpoint chances has he had, Chris?
Zero.
That was a 15-30. He missed that second serve.
He's gotten to 15-30 to 30 all and has not been able to get returns in play at key moments to create the break chance. Federer has played the points very well when he's been close to facing break points. Such a huge feature of the match last night, how well Wawrinka was able to play when he got down love 30, 15-30, because Djokovic was very close for a long time at getting break chances, but Novak went 2.5 sets without seeing a break point. Wawrinka able to fight from behind so often in his service games.
Well, the serve is just been superb for Federer tonight. The serve direction. I mean, talk about hitting your spots. He's spreading it around. Look at the percentages. Using the wide serve a touch more. The aces of the red ones, just 5 aces. But the percentage for the match is 67% on the first serve.
But even in this game, where he's only made 1 of 4, he's still at 40-15.
Has not used the body serve once.
No, but he's not getting hurt as much on the second serve. No. And I think that's the key. I think that's, again, I think the racket's helping him get a little more spin, a little more action on the ball. And I think the conditions are helping him.
Six aces.
I mean, we talk so much, and Darren's spot on, and you talking about the break point chances, Chris. The margins are so small between these top guys. So whether it's the balls being a little bit lighter and faster, the courts being a little faster, slower, whatever it is, that's what decides a lot of these matches. In addition to obviously them executing their A game.
It's playing very much like an indoor court, isn't it?
I think so. I've seen very few times in this match where Federer's hit a ball on his backhand side close to shoulder height. Now, obviously, Murray doesn't play with the excessive topspin that Nadal does, but he's been able in the past to get that ball up using his heavy forehand on the backhand side.
So you feel that could still be yet another test for Federer if he gets through this match against Rafa's hooking.
That'll be another
lefty
test.
Forehands.
Oh yes. I think the only place where Nadal can't get the ball up is on sand. With his spin, even on grass, he gets it to jump high.
Not to be too premature, because Roger has more work to do, but on this court, 2 nights from now, it'll be warmer. They say could play a part. It won't be quite as cool at night, perhaps. Nasty slice.
30-15.
That's the first time tonight that he sort of winced and pushed at his back, the left side. We saw it a lot in his previous match, especially in the first set, but that was the first sign of any discomfort so far tonight from Andy Murray.
Had to go down real low, Darren, to play that shot. Got to be careful not to draw too much from that. I think you'd agree, Darren. We've seen plenty of it. No way to know for sure if it's painful or not. He says he has a little soreness after matches since the surgery.
No pressure again on the Murray service game. And Just continues to build for him. Had to fight off 3 break points in his opening service game. That's quick strike tennis right there.
How about the return of serve?
Yeah. Just put Murray on his heels right away. Got a little bit of help with the net cord, which just threw off Andy's timing a little bit. The next ball hung, and Federer made him pay the price.
Murray facing break point again. 4th already in the set.
Yes.
Murray has to work. Comes back in front in the 3rd on serve.
Murray leads.
Coming soon to a television near you, a special movie event exclusive to Dish customers. Dish Movie Mania. Tune into Channel 102 every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night in February and March for 9 different themed weekends of all-American westerns, family favorites, date night films, sports fan favorites, and more. And spoiler alert, it's free. It's our way of saying thanks for being a Dish customer. Dish Movie Mania, a film festival just for you.
Wow, this hotel is amazing.
Oh, no.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Wrong answer.
Wait, Daddy, this is Blair. He booked this room with Priceline Express deals and saved a ton.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have to bid, and I got everything I wanted.
Oh, good.
I always do.
Oh, good. He seemed nice.
Express deals. Priceline savings without the bidding.
Fed fans around the world loving what they're seeing so far. "14 straight sets to begin his quest for this Australian Open title, won by Federer.
Set it up.
Federer continuing to, excuse me, just run through his service games. Put the pressure right back on Murray with a quick hold here.
need the flashy backhand. Murray's shot was wide and very quick hold.
These two players prepare hard for the Australian Open, with Roger working in Dubai for 4 weeks leading into the Aussie Open, and also Andy Murray. Even though he's Scottish, he's got a place in Florida, training in the Florida heat also to get ready for it. But really, these players only need it for the first week here at the Australian Open, because now all of the matches going through to the final are basically night matches.
Yeah, they don't need it. They don't need it for the heat down here, but they need it for the level of intensity of these matches.
Sure do.
And the ability to bounce back from tough matches. That's why you see these top players now, not just with the coach and the trainer, but a physio, all the things that need to be done in between the matches to prepare them. So stretching, the icing, the rehab.
Exactly. There's one guy that gets you prepared for these matches, another guy that helps you recover and get back on the court 2 days later. And they're both extremely important members of the team at this level of the Grand Slam tennis on the men's side.
Yeah, well done. Murray's certainly, as Darren suggested, picking up his level. He's continuing to be aggressive, come forward. He realizes that defense is not going to win this match. He's got to take offense when he can. More than capable of doing that.
40-15.
I bet you also, Wilson can't wait until they can stick a little bit of paint on that racket, put a name to it, put it on the shelves in a few stores, and I've got a feeling that's going to fly off the shelves.
I kind of like the stealth black frame. For the first time in his 3 service games in the set where he doesn't face a break point.
How you see investing depends on your perspective. While some focus on the short term, we see long-term rewards for those who stay invested. Having navigated up and down markets for over 60 years, we know how to spot smart investments at home and abroad in all market cycles. It's made us a global leader in investment management. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
This is Betsy. Her long day of pickups and drop-offs begins with arthritis pain and a choice. Take up to 6 Tylenol in a day, or just 2 Aleve for all-day relief. All aboard.
It's fresh flavors upon fresh flavors. The delicious new Chipotle Chicken Fresh Mex Bowl. Only at Chili's. More flavor happens here.
Let's go, Andy. The chorus from his fans inside Rod Laver Arena. They'd love to see some more tennis. You got the Scottish hats out there in the garden.
That's a nice look. A little chilly out there for them.
Can't tell if it's a hat or an ice bag.
It's a towel.
It looks like an ice bag. Murray's quest continues for his first break point of the night.
59.
Just frustrating. This is a guy that's, even against Federer, used to seeing break points occasionally, used to being able to create them for himself.
For the first one, the first shank.
Yeah, it is. Well, he kind of a forced shank earlier, but it's so few of those.
I feel like also, Chris, on the 30 all points, the 15 all points, the sort of swing points in the games on Federer serve, he's always looked to do this. First serve in play, quick strike on the forehand, or follow it forward. He's very tuned in to what he needs to do tonight. There he goes again.
.48 straight holds since second round against Kavcic when he was up a set.
Well, I sort of had a feeling, Chris, that this might be the case, and our crack crew went to work, okay? And the average backhand hit point, the height, and that to me is the most important thing for Federer. Look at this. Tonight, the average hit point is 32 inches. This is from his match last year against Murray. Last year, 37 inches. That is a monster difference.
That's excellent work.
Explain why it's so much tougher, the 5-inch difference.
Well, because for Roger, especially with a one-handed backhand, it's harder to generate power and control off a ball that's that much higher. It's just more difficult with one hand.
There's also a big wear down factor as well.
Yeah. But not only that, it's also a mindset. It's a mentality, because Murray senses that. He knows that he's not making the progress on each and every rally if he can get it up to the backhand. So that affects his whole ground game.
Is that a combination of conditions, perhaps court positioning too? If you're feeling more confident, you can take it a little earlier.
I think it's
lower.
More the conditions.
That's why Federer's had so much success. The O2 Arena in London, where the true indoor court, a very low bouncing court. Nadal, nobody's been able to really give him much trouble there. Djokovic did get him.
Correction. Good service.
Federer took a little extra look at the mark, but decided not to challenge. Again, that return struck early and clean, and getting on to Murray in a hurry. Total points won. He's won 20 more points. Wow.
Mentioned this the other day. Federer has actually lost 24 matches, and he's won more points than his opponent. 4 times in his career, he's been able to win a match by winning less points than his opponent. It's pretty rare, though. Only about 1 in 20 tennis matches are won by the guy that's got fewer points. It did happen last night. One of the
Djokovic won more points.
He did about 10 more, I think, than Wawrinka did. But not the biggest ones. Not the last 2.
Yeah, there was a big spread, though, in the first set.
Yep. And the reason why Federer wins more points than his opponent, even though he loses the match sometimes. He doesn't take games off. He doesn't do the little mini tanks.
Yep.
Fights for every point.
Well, tonight it's a case of him holding serve very comfortably throughout the match.
That's why you were surprised by the 20-point spread at that point. Murray trots to his chair, able to hold a second straight game without facing break point. Back in front, 4-3.
In my country, the investment landscape changes continually. At Franklin Templeton, we've been here for decades to see it firsthand.
Our investment insights start on the ground, with local analysts spotting opportunities and risks as they emerge.
When opportunity grows in your backyard, you can see first what others see eventually.
Invest through the eyes of hundreds of local experts worldwide. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
Such a finish. Here comes Mr. Perpetual Motion again. He's got the acceleration. They're doing it. It's there for the taking. It's a goal. Golly, what a shot. It's incredible. The very fine act of the drama. You could not write a script like this.
Wednesday, women's semis back on ESPN2 beginning at 9:30 Eastern time. Over to ESPN again Thursday, 3:30 Eastern for Berdych and Wawrinka. And then Nadal against the winner here on Friday. The split semifinals. Has it been an advantage in recent years having the extra day's rest before the men's final? No statistical edge at that whatsoever. A little surprising.
Really interesting there as well, because that's the first time Murray stayed at home. He's been running to the open court just about every time Federer's had a put-away ball, and Roger's been burning him by going back behind him. But Murray's onto that now, so that'll be interesting. Roger will have to change his tactics. Even with the serve volley tactic, every time he's moved forward, he's volleyed back behind Murray. There you go. Takes it straight to the open court.
Federer is going to be in the net more in 3 sets tonight than he was in 5 sets of the loss to Murray last year.
Yep. Yeah, why not? Keep coming.
Only 44 net points, and he won a much lower percentage in last year's loss to Andy.
Serve, just as pure serve and volley points last year was 3 of 5, 5 of 6, but overall tonight, in addition to that, 31 of 41.
Geez, the way things are going, Stefan's going to think this coaching gig is easy. Huh? What's the problem?
And Rogers fans are going to say, where was this racket for the last couple of years, for that matter?
Federer taking call on the right far side. Ball was called out.
Just missed.
Second serve.
Quick wave of the racket from Murray, who smashes pretty close to Federer.
40-30, and there are 2 changes remaining. Thank you.
And another good serve when he needed it.
It's not like Murray's played poorly tonight.
No, he hasn't. Well, he was a little sluggish at the start, and that got him in a hole. But I think the last 2 sets, he's definitely picked up his game. But again, he's been doing all the reacting tonight in this match.
You can point to a few cases. We talked about the forehands that he missed in the second set game, which he was broken. But by and large, given the fact that he hadn't really played a big pressure match since the U.S. Open, I don't know how much more he could have hoped for from himself. Just hasn't been in his control. Murray's beginning to try to take the net much more here in this third set. Take it away from Federer if he can.
He only came in 6 times in the first 2 sets, Chris. He's come in 9 times just in this set. And he's been effective up there, 7 for 9. He's adjusting to the conditions, but is it too late? The overall head-to-head 11-9 to Murray and 3-1 in majors to Federer, but we should also throw in the fact that Murray beat him in the gold medal match at Wimbledon, which was best of 5, and he destroyed him in that match on a grass court. So clearly Murray's capable of playing in the quicker conditions as well. Because there was some question if he was going to get that on 1 bounce.
And he took a long, hard look back to the umpire to check and to see if it was double bounce, but he definitely made that.
He wants to see the replay board right now. Oh, it's close. Just scooped it.
Bless the wide body frame.
Just flying around the court.
Yeah, little did we know it'd help on something like this.
Ooh, I'm not sure. Murray's seen the replay again. I'm not sure he's convinced.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Potentially, Federer 6 points in the semifinals.
Feel that coming.
Federer barking at himself right in front of our window.
Yeah. Well, he was annoyed they showed it on the big screen 3 times to the crowd.
He got the ruling went his way.
Yeah, he'll be a little less annoyed if he breaks here.
2 chances. Grab the break and serve for the match. The semifinals just a game away. Another
The Masters, coming in April to ESPN.
Like a laneway leading to another world. Like an oyster holds a secret, holds a pearl. Ooh, ooh, on this new night. Ooh, ooh, on the starlight. On this new night. On this new night, we will stay.
IBM has helped hundreds of automotive companies work smarter. Continental is embedding cars with sensors that'll track factors like how hard you hit the brakes. Cars can then share that info in the cloud and see hazards before their drivers do. Thousands of companies are using IBM Analytics to help manage billions of possible cybersecurity threats every day. One company's network sees 23,000 events a second. Now it can know which ones to investigate.
Chair, Murray, dialogue in the changeover. He wanted an explanation maybe on the ruling of up or not up, and then the showing it on the replay.
You can't go to the challenge on the not up, okay? There's no rule for that.
Well, this has been a masterclass performance so far.
It has.
Can you say vintage Federer?
He's gone 15 straight service games without facing a break point. Murray is 0 for 0 in that department tonight. Talked about all the new things in the new year. New racket, new coach. Different tactics, but some things look vintage. Last couple rounds. Looked a lot like 2004, 2006, 2007.
Yeah, well, hold on a second, because a miss-hit backhand and then an easy forehand miss. It's love 30.
Time he's been slightly behind in his service game, he's done that.
Yep.
He's telling himself to stop pushing that return of serve to hit it.
It's hard to hit that one when it's perfectly placed right in the line. Gotta try to just stab it back.
First serve has been a dominant weapon in this match. 80% points won. That shank gives Murray his first look of the night. And the first that Federer will face, as we just said, 15 games. But a little more pressure in the serve for a spot in the semis. Stays alive with his first break. Jess Green, his trainer's up out of his seat.
I think he just walked past Rod Laver and told him to get up. That was good stuff. Right at the rocket.
Well, Lendl's
he
not getting up.
Tell Red Laver to get up.
There we go.
Come on.
Thank you. Well, full credit to Murray there. He picked up his intensity, and he got a slight opening, a couple of mistakes from Federer. He took advantage.
I think Andy was a little bit deer in headlights, as we kind of expected he might be. But these last 2 sets, he's really thrown the kitchen sink at Roger. He's just been outplayed up until now.
Yeah, we agreed there. I don't think he's played a poor match at all. Feet, Murray telling himself. Roger is really annoyed, dumping serve, serving for the match, but try to shake that off right now.
Step of Murray, a little more
sting in the shots.
Yeah, a little more decisive. Showing a lot of resilience here.
Kim Sears, his girlfriend on the right, out of her seat.
Game on.
Very tough. The serve forward at 5-4, get broken, come back at 5-6.
How does an investment manager build portfolios to stand the test of time? At Franklin Templeton, 60 years of investing through every kind of market has taught us to manage risk as vigilantly as we seek reward. This solid approach has made us a leading equity fund manager. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective. Ask your advisor for a full or summary prospectus with investment goals, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
Like a laneway leading to another world. Like an oyster holds a secret, holds a pearl. Ooh, ooh, on this new night. Ooh, ooh, on the starlight. On this new night. On this new night, we will stay.
Welcome back to the Australian Open 2014, presented by Franklin Templeton Investments.
It's that big test when the finish line for Federer at 30-40 in the 5-4 game was just 3 points away. But he gets broken, and now it's farther. It's 11 points potentially away. That's to hold his way into a tiebreak.
Federer looked up, I believe, to look at how many challenges he had left. To decide whether or not he wanted to challenge that serve. He's got 2.
He's got 2.
So he gets 1 more if we get to the tiebreak.
And we're 2 points away from a breaker to either close or extend this match.
And Roger Federer also is the only player left in the Australian Open, male or female, that has not dropped a set.
If you look at all their head-to-heads, they really haven't played that many tiebreaks. It's sort of surprising. The semifinal win by Murray here a year ago was Federer taking 2nd set and 4th set tiebreaks, both pretty decisively. Murray to serve first.
And he won that 4th set tiebreak to keep him in the match. So Murray's going to have to do that tonight to stay in this. 7-1.
And only once has Andy been able to win a breaker against Roger. You don't think Murray, who's very sharp on stats and numbers, has that in his head, do you? That he's lost 6 in a row to Roger?
I wouldn't think so, because that goes back many years.
He would know that for sure.
He would?
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy, he knows every result, every point, every tie break. Oh, absolutely.
He remembers 2008 Tennis Masters Cup, huh?
Okay.
It's the last time he beat Federer in a breaker. Get fooled by that 2nd serve.
It's a couple of those now. We had one at 15:30 in the 2nd set where he completely gets under the ball, doesn't get the racket head above the ball and covers it. Just flies on him.
And Murray has 4 challenges to work with, and he'll burn through one here, I think. Yep. 2-1, Federer.
2-1, Federer.
Kind of interesting there. Federer kept this 2nd ball in his hand just to make sure he was sort of mentally prepared to hit a 2nd serve. As soon as he saw the ball was good, he hit it to the other side.
Attentive.
Yes. Attention to detail. Murray's done a really good job in this set going after the forehand. Set 12 forehand winners in the match, 7 in this set. Out. Again, some big shots from Murray, but the ball not getting up. And Federer's able to defend those shots pretty comfortably. And then Andy again overcooks a backhand. Opportunity now for Federer, serving at 3-2. Stretch the lead here. That is just unbelievable defending from Federer. 3 forehand squash shots on the dead run.
Again, Edberg goes crazy.
And I can't believe Murray didn't come forward there.
He should have. Yeah. I think he couldn't believe the shots kept coming back, but there were chances. Why not, Darren? Just in the moment.
3 times in a row he had a chance to move forward there. Could have taken any of those balls on the rise. He kind of got what he deserved there. Just sat back and waited for Roger to use his defensive skills, and he did. Stayed in the point.
And again, Federer within 3 points in the semifinals.
You can stay back and work the point at 1-1 in a set, but not in a tiebreak. You've got to come in for the kill.
Federer's first serve percentage for the match, 68%.
Now it is more times at net in this 3-set match so far than in the 5 sets they played last year. Tactics and execution. Stays alive, and now 5-4. This match on Federer's racket. Been a problem shot for him tonight. The backhand return. No challenge. Murray asks himself, why are you going for that ball? Big moments he's not been able to get backhand returns in play. And Federer has 2 match points.
Thank you. White.
effort on both those match points. Exchange ends at 6-all.
Boy, Andy shows some real resolve when his back's been up against the wall.
Hasn't he?
Interestingly, he went for a very off-speed first serve in that point. Missed it. And then spun in the second serve to the backhand. And very aggressive match point save from Murray off the ground.
There's a challenge from Roger. I think he knows Murray made it. He's been the more aggressive man throughout most of this night, but in the last few minutes, Murray just raw, aggressive tennis. At his best, backed into a corner. And now it's the Scot with a set point. 3 strong points in a row from that man. These two will battle on to a full set. Finish line was right there for Roger, and Murray just pulled it back.
In today's global economy, spotting smart investments requires expertise from the ground up, seeing first what others see eventually. At Franklin Templeton, we have hundreds of experts across the globe with local insight that gives us a broader perspective for navigating world markets. This approach has helped us achieve great heights in global investing for over 60 years. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
Hold on, man. Is that a leak up there?
That's a drip. Now that's a leak. And if you don't have Allstate Renters Insurance, game over.
Combine your renters and auto with Allstate for as low as $4 a month. Call an Allstate agent and get a quote now.
This is George. The day building a playset begins with a surprise twinge of back pain and a choice.
Take up to 4 Advil in a day, or 2 Aleve for all-day relief.
That's handy.
It's been a good effort so far to get to quarterfinals of a slam. I can't honestly say my expectations are as high as they would have been if I'd been playing for the last 4 months. I'm not far away from winning the event. Anyone that's in the quarters is close.
I think we're both coming into this match with a good feeling. That's what I was hoping for Andy when he did come back, that he was actually at 100%. I'm looking forward to the match, I must say. I wonder how it's going to play out.
Federer was having some really good feelings in this match, up 2 sets and 5-4, but broken. And then in the breaker, up 6 points to 4. 2 more match points taken away by Murray, who's left the court here. And Roger, a lot to think about.
It's going to play out a lot differently than we thought about 10 minutes ago, but it was an amazing start for Federer. If you're just getting up on the East Coast and weathering the storm back there, Roger Federer was all over Murray from the get-go. Coming out, being aggressive, moving forward, got the early break in the opening set, and was able to close it out pretty comfortably, 6 games to 3.
continue to attack the net. Murray played a pretty good set, but dumped some forehands and dumped his serve, and that's all Roger needed.
Yeah, Roger has been able to take care of his serve very comfortably in the match. Got a break, actually served for the match in the third set. That was match point in the tie break, the second one. Now it's 6-all in the tie break. And Federer, I thought, just got just a touch passive on some of those important points in that tie break, but full credit to Murray for really stepping up and hanging in there in that third set. And now we got a whole new ball game.
Now Murray hadn't had a break point all night until the 5-4 game there in the third. Federer, a couple of mistakes, fell behind. He had gone 15 service games in a row without facing a break point. I asked you guys earlier today, he came up in the match last night. Trickier when you haven't faced a break point in a long time, or as a returner when you haven't had one in a long time?
Probably when you haven't faced one and then all of a sudden you're serving for the match and you have to face your first one. That's tricky.
It was the same answer that Darren and BG gave.
15.
For the returner, the danger is you get too edgy. You don't think clearly out there because you've waited so long. And Roger wasn't serving a volley in that 5-4 game either.
Complete brick on that.
15.
The other big scenario in that factor, Chris, is that when you're serving, you're the decision maker. And destiny's sort of in your hands, but when you're returning and you're having a break point, it's more reactionary.
Wow. 2 awful misses from Federer early in this fourth set.
And he's got to get his head together right here because those were 2 really bad shots.
The swinging forehand volley was very sharp throughout most of this night.
Oh boy, Murray had a huge opportunity there. Federer really gave him a nice look at that passing shot.
That was for double break point right away in the fourth. That tiebreak, by the way, the first that Roger had lost here in the last 7. He'd won 7 in a row since 2012 semis to Nadal. Only the second he'd ever lost to Murray. Been 4 years down here since Federer had beaten a top 4 player in straight sets at a major, and that won't happen now.
That was against Murray in the final, right?
There.
Got Murray on his heels with that shot and then played it perfectly. And look, if you're Murray, you say to yourself, you battled, you from behind, you got yourself into position now to really get in the match. And if you're Federer, you sort of have to regroup and look at the big picture and say, listen, I'm playing great. I've really dominated the match. I got to keep playing with that aggressive mindset, keep going for my shots.
Can Murray continue the same kind of red line aggression that he showed in the tiebreak when he was up against it?
Like he was pretty in control of his shots. I mean, he was aggressive, but I didn't feel like he was swinging out of his comfort zone too much. Takes that return early, reads the serve. Beautiful forehand winner. That's his 14th winner off that wing. Yeah, it's not going to get it done.
I asked the question because I think that you guys are as good as these guys are. You sort of nitpick, but I think there's been times in Murray's career when off a big emotional tiebreak win, he'll throttle back a little bit early in the next set. He's done it against Djokovic. I think it cost him last year.
Might cost him here. That was not a good shot there. That, I'm not sure what he was trying to do. Hit it short or play a drop shot. Opportunity here for Federer. Love 30, second serve.
Terrible game from Murray. He was given a couple of gifts early in Federer's service game, couldn't grab them. Now 3 chances for Federer to jump on top.
One of the things Murray was able to do, we talked about being more aggressive, Chris, with the forehand, but look at the hit point in the 3rd set, making an adjustment, getting inside the baseline a little bit more, played a lot of defense in the first couple of sets. Let's track that through this set and see if he can continue that. Still break point for Federer.
Also came to net a lot more in set 3.
30-14.
Beautifully hit backhand to save a 3rd break point of the game. I ask you this, it's early in the set, and Murray's just clawed back to extend the match. How important do you think to hold and not fall behind an early
Hugely
break?
important. Hugely important.
He'd have lots of time to make it up, but he's been playing from behind the whole match.
It starts to wear on you.
Yes.
Time and again, Federer stepping around to take that second serve return of the forehand.
Yeah, and you know, Murray also, it just seems like after some of these shots when he's on the run, he's kind of pulling up, almost hunched over a little bit.
Also, Roger just starting to take his backhand down the line a little more again.
Fourth break point. Frustrated. Early in the match, he grabbed the first two chances to break. Then Murray began to defend him a little bit better. Roger not nearly as good a conversion, just 1 for 9 since those 2 breaks.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that early on. He was like 2 for 3 early.
2 for 2, yeah.
2 for 2, and now he's 3 for 11 overall.
Yep.
That's a great shot. Murray right on top of the baseline there, keeping Federer on the move. Takes that early on the rise. The next ball, attacks it with the forehand. He's going to be bolder, you know, on those mid-court balls. He's going to jump on them and attack. I think that's who's winning these matches. That happened last night. Djokovic, Wawrinka. Stan was a little bit bolder when it really counted. Obviously, an incredibly tight match.
Wow. That's a good break for Murray.
Yes, it is.
D'accord, mais il reçoit un premier, hein. On rejoue le point entier.
Pascal Murray asking in French what he wants to do. Roger's had a little challenge. The line's been corrected himself. And it was good. So now another first serve for Murray.
Well, that was a second serve, though.
Yeah.
So that's what Federer's not, understandably, not too pleased.
No. That's why it was a good break for Murray. He says, thank you very much. Was long.
Believe it or not, that's the first double fault of the entire match from either player.
And it extends. A very challenging opening service came from Murray in the fourth. Already 14 points played. Federer has let go 4 break chances in the game. Murray is really having to work hard. He looks fit, though.
Yeah, but he'll be tested here because it really doesn't matter how much practice you put in playing at this level against this type of guy. It's completely different.
Say it's a physical test.
Missed it. Yeah, it's a real physical test, Chris, because after having the back operation and spending a lot of time doing the rehab and then spending a lot of time on the practice court, didn't play too many matches coming into the Australian Open, and a fairly soft draw to get through to the quarters. This is a huge physical test. He's shown us mentally that he's there.
The focus in his camp coming in was more whether he could withstand the intensity mentally. Was he match tough? They thought he could be physically ready.
Thinking about that a little bit, because I just sense that he's not quite as decisive about coming forward. He's playing longer rallies. It may work for him because of what you said, Darren, but it's dicey because I don't feel that he's being quite as aggressive as he was earlier. He's thinking about it a little bit more.
I agree.
32 points played, beyond 10 shots, and pretty even in that department. By far the longest game of the match.
Yeah, that's more of what Roger was doing in the first couple of sets, really putting the pressure on Murray on big points. Slight mishit on the return, but he came forward. And he's been awfully successful around the net, winning just under 80% of the points.
Remember way back when this game began, low 40? It's the 5th chance now for Federer in the game. Second overhead.
Not that I mind who wins this match, but every time a lob goes up in the air and Andy lines up for an overhead, my heart is in my mouth.
This one here wasn't that clean. You could tell the sound of it, but a 5th break point saved.
He's had really good body language tonight, Andy. I know he talks to himself a lot and he gets angry with himself, but he can be pretty mopey on the court, and we haven't really seen any of that tonight.
This game was about half as long as the first set was. Best cover.
Even a smile from Pascal.
He's been in the chair for some absolute classic matches.
Second time in the match where Federer sensed that Murray was right on top of the net and he went right at him.
And he just busted the net also. This little move here. Net strap just popped off.
Can sometimes get you a warning. Murray wasn't given one. So after 22 points in this game, and counting. 5 break points. A little pause. They have to measure the height now.
Yes.
Murray apologizing for the slight delay.
I'll tell you who's loving this too is Rafael Nadal. We had a very tough match in 4 sets today over Grigor Dimitrov to make it to the semis, and for all the world it looked like it was going to be a very routine night for Roger Federer, and now he's having to work pretty darn hard.
A 6th chance.
First service.
Tremendous resolve by Murray in this game.
Yes.
Just for a 10th time. The longer it goes, the more magnified the importance.
Yeah, definitely. And again, I think Federer played that point a little bit too defensively. Allowed Murray to take the initiative there.
In the game, Murray's missed more than half his first serves. That's a big reason why this has been such a tough hold.
He's normally between 55% and 60% for first serves made. What is he tonight, Chris?
For the match, it's 60.
Yeah, that's what he's normally is.
But he's below that in this one service game, which feels like a set. 26th point of the game, almost 19 minutes.
Murray anticipated that.
So Murray in a marathon holds. And Federer let 6 break chances get away, which makes him 1 for 11 since he grabbed the first 2 that he saw early in the match.
There's that little move again that he's been going to a lot, going behind Andy Murray. And Andy's starting to stay at home more often now.
Murray, even though it wasn't a changeover, going to his chair for the towel.
Yeah, tons of people are moving around in the crowd too. They're not doing a real good job. The ushers keeping people in their seats. A whole bunch of people are leaving as if it's a changeover.
You got to go. You got to go. Well, new balls for Federer, and he's going to serve even though the crowd is moving around.
I can tell you one thing: Ivan Lendl wouldn't be playing right now. Back in the day, he couldn't have one person in the crowd move.
Let's sum up now the last half hour of this match. He served for it at 5-4.
Yep.
Was broken. Had 2 match points in the tiebreak from 6-4. Lost it. Had 6 break chances in that service game. Couldn't break. It's a lot to overcome emotionally.
That's also been the MO for Federer in the last year or so, that he's struggled in big matches, that he's lost opportunities, putting guys away, putting sets away, missing break point opportunities. That's reared its head for Federer in the last half an hour.
But if he can get a quick hold, puts the pressure right back on Murray.
To me, this match is sort of a mirror of last year's match that these two played, which Murray won in 5 sets. Federer was battling to hang in there, won a couple of tie breaks. Overall, Murray was by far the better player last year. Tonight, I think Federer's been by far the better player, but Murray's been able to hang in there.
Another Murray service game coming up.
You're saying I can get AT&T's network with a data plan and unlimited talk and text for as low as $45 a month?
$45 a month.
Wow. No annual contract?
No annual contract.
No long-term agreement?
No long-term agreement.
Really?
Really?
Okay, so what's the catch?
There is no catch.
Okay, I'm obviously getting nowhere with you. I'm gonna need to speak with a supervisor.
I am the supervisor.
Oh, finally, someone I can talk to.
It's not complicated. New smartphone plans starting at $45 a month with no annual contract. Only from AT&T.
I need proof of insurance.
That's my G.O.A.T digital insurance ID card. Got all my pertinence on it and such.
Works for me. Turn to the camera.
Actually, I think my eyes might...
Next!
Digital insurance ID cards. Just a tap away on the G.O.A.T app.
Huh, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that when a tree falls in the forest and no one's around, it does make a sound?
Oh!
G.O.A.T.
Little help here?
In reference to last year's battle here in the semifinals, the most recent meeting between the two, and Murray was the better player, you feel, through much of it.
Oh, absolutely. He was coming forward. He had Federer reacting to him a lot more in this match. They're looking to come in. Murray able to pass him there. And there was a little tete-a-tete at one point between the two of them. Got pretty heated. The 4-hour mark at this point. And that's when it ended. 6-2 in the 5th. Murray pulled away late.
Yeah, he did. The sets that Roger won were in tie breaks. In that last set, just a half hour. Murray actually ran it out pretty quick. And again, Roger, a lot of the fuel drained away before he even took the court because of the battle with Tsonga.
And we just have a lot of people coming down into the president's area, so that's a slight hold up at the moment.
The match last year took exactly 4 hours for Murray to win, approaching the 3-hour mark tonight.
That's enough.
Exact opposite of his last service game. If he can close that here at Love, he's thrilled with that.
Game.
viewers watching on the East Coast, good morning to you. You know, it's 6:30 in the snowy Northeast.
That's right.
You probably don't want to go out and shovel snow and deal with that. Maybe the kids have a snow day. I know that's the case in a lot of places in the Northeast. So welcome. 10:30 in the evening here in Melbourne. Federer, brilliant the first couple of sets. And served for this match at 5-4 in the third. Was broken. Had 2 match points in the tiebreak. Murray pulled those back. Federer was 6 break chances in Murray's first service game here in the fourth and couldn't break.
Let. Where did that come from?
Yeah, the ball kid was still running to the back of the court, and that means Roger gets a first serve.
Yeah.
Escomer is scolding the ball kid.
First serve.
Pascal forgot he wasn't at the French Open. Roger asked him in French. He said the answer in French.
Yep.
He's been a little bit less reluctant to come forward, hasn't he? Just a bit in the latter stages of the third set and in the early part of the fourth.
Yeah, that's a shot that he been pretty inconsistent with in this match tonight, Murray. The second serve return on the backhand, which is normally very reliable. He's missed some opportunities with that shot.
More often he's pushed it long. That time dumped it.
Also something his coaching team has been working on to try to get him to be more aggressive on the second serves. Bulking up the forehand was a big target, and also going after more second serves, but he has not played that well tonight.
Another comfortable hold for Federer early in the fourth. 3-2.
This is Betsy. Her long day of pickups and drop-offs begins with arthritis pain and a choice. Take up to 6 Tylenol in a day, or just 2 Aleve for all-day relief. All aboard.
All right, guys, let's huddle up here and talk probiotics. For digestive health? Yes, and did you know that True Biotics is a daily probiotic that helps in 2 ways? It supports digestive and immune health by working in your gut, where 70% of your immune system lives. Try True Biotics today.
Service to aisle 3, please. Service to aisle 3.
Children, I am your father.
We all have a Disney side. And the best place to show it is Disney Parks. So come to the place where the entire family can laugh, let loose, and play together. Disney Parks. Come on, show your Disney side.
Like twice before, these two played beyond 3 sets. Of course, the 5-setter won by Murray last year. Federer won at Wimbledon in 4 in 2012. Of course, the other 2 meetings in majors here and at the U.S. Open in finals won by Federer in straights.
It's amazing, though, isn't it, when you watch sort of how these matches unfold and you think about watching Andy Murray closely and how this feels, you can feel the difficulty in it for him. You know, the struggle, the stress, the angst, the physicality of it. You watch Rafael Nadal, and of course he that's on the line. Nadal plays with so much intensity, passion, physicality as well, and you see it. And then you watch Federer as they're going to challenge this one, but we're pretty much right on that line and hit smack on the line. And you look at Murray, who's 26, Nadal, who's 27, and then there's Federer at 32. And you watch him even in this match, it's like he's just cruising along.
Sure, it doesn't feel like a cruise.
No,
to him
it doesn't.
Right now.
No.
Well, I get your point.
But the movement and the mobility and the flexibility.
That's why he's able to play well at 32.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd tell us, listen, these are a lot harder on the body than they appear to be.
Murray has 2 challenges remaining.
I wonder if Federer, now another opportunity here, will look to be aggressive. I'm sure that's what Coach Edberg would tell him if he could. 30 all.
Didn't have a chance there.
Nope.
40-30.
That's the kind of pace and placement that almost forced Federer to chip the backhand return.
Service.
Their backhand return there as he steps around and spanks it. It's been a good turn before one-handed backhands. Obviously, Wawrinka moving forward, Dimitrov making the breakthrough. Breda had some nice wins, but all you guys feel it's on the return. That's the one area where it really benefits you to have two hands on the racket. You don't see many one-handed backhands when you watch the juniors do it. You see the young players coming up. I hope that, you know, as tennis evolves, it's still taught that way. You know, some kids are still taught to play.
I think the percentages are about the same. Yeah, there's still some, but the majority of the younger kids have to, just like the majority of the pros do.
Sure.
I would teach either one, whichever is natural to the player. That's really good aggressive use of up the line from Federer. Kept Murray on the run.
Yes.
This was more the tempo of the points in the first couple of sets when Federer was really dictating play a lot more.
Let for service.
Kisses the tape and stays on Murray's side.
Federer.
Flick lob. I'm not sure that was going to stay in the court.
It may have gone wide. Look where Murray hits it from. Ball was a pretty sharp cross court. No matter. It's break point. 0 for 6 for Federer in this set.
For 7. Those first 6 coming in Murray's first service game.
Yes.
And again, the slice return. Okay, if he's stretched wide on the backhand, he has really no other choice. But that was pretty much down the middle, and he just poked it back with a slice return. Easily could have hit out on that.
Murray challenge goal on the left center service line. Ball was called out.
I think it was Rogers' reaction. He kind of dipped his head like maybe that serve was good. Murray thought it was worth a look, but no. Just.
Definitely worth a look. Barely.
He's down to 1 for the set.
That's a good second.
Crossed him up, didn't he?
Yeah, because Rogers moved around a couple of times to hit that return up the middle on the forehand side. It's a chess match. Dropped in.
That one's out. Roger hesitated. That ball dipped down just the last split second, and Murray earns another hold. Federer just 1 break chance in that game.
Feels like he's played 2 sets of serving games from this end alone. The 1-love game and the 2-3 game.
This is becoming more physical by the minute here, isn't it?
Takes a lot of energy to keep battling from behind, and I mean, huge credit to Murray. He's done that entirely the last couple of sets.
That was a correction. Late call and then a correction. That ball landed on the line. First serve.
There's a new line screw. They changed them a couple games ago. And the shot was good.
It's a heck of a second right there.
59.
And we've talked about the change in the racket for Federer a few times, but I think it's worth revisiting it because I think it's really helped him on that second serve. I mean, more action on the ball, more bite. He's won 64% of the points on the second serve. That's a huge number against Andy Murray in his return. There's another one. You know, obviously Murray struggled a little bit on the backhand, but that ball's got some kick on it. It's jumping away from him. Not that easy to control that. I also think what you're seeing from Murray and Darren, we talked about this a little bit earlier. This is a guy who's matured a lot. And, you know, he's had to fight through a lot of adversity to finally win that major, which he did, to win the Olympics. And then, of course, what he did last year at Wimbledon. So he's got that in his back pocket. And I think that's made him just a better competitor. He's not going away, even though he's been outplayed, even though he's not quite at his best.
That's what decides Grand Slams. That's what gets you the trophies. I mean, we talked earlier that Nadal was outplayed for much of the match by Dimitrov. But just like he's done so many times, he finds a way to will himself and outcompete in the big moments. Gets a little luck as well. Federer holds again without facing a break point.
Road trip, buddy. Let's put some music on.
Welcome to Learning Spanish in the Car.
You gotta be kidding me. This is good.
Vámonos.
Vámonos.
Gracias.
Gracias.
13 horas en el carro sin parar y no traes música. Mira, entra y cómprame unas papitas.
Get up to 795 miles per tank in the TDI Clean Diesel. The Volkswagen Passat, recipient of the J.D. Power Appeal Award 2 years in a row.
This is George. The day building a playset begins with a surprise twinge of back pain and a choice.
Take up to 4 Advil in a day, or 2 Aleve for all-day relief.
That's handy.
Chili's lunch combo starting at just $6. Try our delicious new Fresh Mex bowls with Chipotle or Margarita chicken, all served with a bowl of soup, like our new Southwest chicken. Chili's lunch combo starting at $6. More life happens here.
Welcome back to the Australian Open 2014, presented by Franklin Templeton Investments.
This is a Grand Slam in which Federer broke the all-time sturdiness streak. 57 majors in a row. He's played 59 in his career, but breaking the record here with 57 straight. So only fitting that he has to work hard here for the first time in this tournament.
3 hours and 13 minutes into this one.
We also forgot to mention, Chris, is that Roger Federer restarted his quarterfinal streak here with a showing at the Australian Open. How many did he have in a row up until the US Open? Wimbledon, sorry.
Yeah, it was
incredible streak.
Zahovsky broke that streak at Wimbledon. He's still got an Aussie Open streak, though.
Ooh, 2 first ball errors off the forehand. Just like that, it's love 30.
Little grimace from Murray. Does that a lot after missing. Boy, he's just been under pressure for so much of this match. Will he have to fight out more break points?
Yeah, he didn't go up after that serve either. He just sort of armed it in, and now it's triple break point.
Six saved in his first service game of this set. 1 saved last time. Federer has 3 chances to grab a break and try to serve for this match again. from Federer.
He looked up again to see how many challenges he's got left. Two.
He's got 2. Maybe he should have used one.
He should have.
Chose not to. It's the unofficial challenge.
Wow.
We'll show you the serve miss. So it would have been a second serve and break point instead of an ace. Still has break point. Remember that if Murray holds.
Fortune favors the bold.
Just the tape and came over, didn't it?
Well, he was aggressive off the return right there. Beautiful dropper. Murray did well to get to it. And he will serve for the match again.
More than an hour ago, it was 5-4 in the third, and Federer was broken. He's been so close a couple of times.
Out.
I thought Federer did a great job with this shot. He opened up the court. It landed short, but Murray on the dead run. It's just too good. Roger says, yep, too good.
That's right in front of us. That was absolutely ripped up the line.
That was a good approach, a good low volley. Just too good again for Murray.
What a serve.
Yeah, that was a great second serve there. A lot of work on that. Perfectly placed for the kicker wide. That is just a crucial stat right there. Crucial.
Been better on his second serve points than his first in this set. Close in the breaker in the third set. Yelled out after that point. Third chance to secure the semifinals. Even the two greats looking on, the one in his coaching box, and the man for whom this arena is named had to get up after that one. Because perhaps the greatest of them all, back in the semifinals, made to work for it by Murray tonight.
Some vintage Federer tonight, Chris. That sure was nice to see. But you know what? It sure was nice to see the fight from this man. Andy Murray really battled. And he was up against it the entire night. And he hung in there. That was a champion effort from Andy Murray. And wow, how pumped up are we to see another Federer-Nadal matchup in a major.
How sweet after the match points to end it right there. Swing, his 10th ace. And Edberg normally very reserved. Lendl just turns and spins, and let's go now to Jim Courier to hear from Roger. Roger versus Rafa in the semifinals. How special.
Well, Roger, it was about 40 minutes ago where you served for the match, and then you had match points and that tie break, and it got away from you. How did you regroup after that third set?
I have no choice but to stay out here and try to tell myself I'm actually still in the lead, so it's not that bad. Clearly it was tough because you're sitting there, you think I could be talking to you right now, it could be all fun and games, but no. Here I am sitting, preparing for the fourth, so it's tough, you know, but that's what Andy did well. He kept the ball in play, put the pressure on me, and unfortunately I couldn't get it done with the serves or the forehand, whatever was missing, so I'm happy to have got the win in four.
Well, you had a lot of chances early in that fourth set, too. Do you, at this level in your career, with all the experience you have, do you allow yourself to even think about the situation, or do you still have the ability to go point by point? You have a lot to draw on if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably one of the guy who misses more breakpoint opportunity than other guys, so I'm kind of used to it. And then you stay positive that you gave yourself a chance and you miss another one, but you know what, I'll give myself another chance. You miss one more, sure, then I want to, you know, do something, maybe toss a ball out of the stadium or something, but I never do it. I keep my composure and try to keep the poker face, and it worked tonight.
You know, last year you talked often about a few things. As you had some tough times, you talked about confidence was a little bit missing, and it seems like this year you're finding it here in this tournament. A really tough draw with Joe, and now this win over Andy. Where would you rate your confidence on the Roger Federer scale of confidence?
Comparing it to my good years, I don't know. I mean, look, I'm much higher than I was last year, and that's very satisfying just because I have confidence in my movement. I mean, it's really become a game of movement out there, you know, and last year I just felt like it wasn't just quite right, you know, and it's that little thing missing. Who knows, maybe Andy was carrying something as well tonight, and, you know, he can play, but it's just not quite the same, and it misses when you're in these big opportunities against the best players. It's not enough, and that's what I felt last year. You start losing a bit more, and that's when it got tough for me. But I kept on playing and kept on doing my work, and I'm happy now that the last 4 months have paid off, and now here I am in the semis. It's an amazing start to the season for me.
Yeah, sure is, and we'll look forward, of course, to that semifinal. We'll talk about that in a second. A couple weeks ago, you hosted a charity event on this court. You got to hit with the man who this building is named after, the Rocket, Rod Laver, who's here. Hey, Rocket, there you are. He's right there. Now, from what I hear, Rocket has taken all the credit for your newfound confidence.
That's okay. That's absolutely okay. He can take all the credit. As long as I'm in the semis, you know, I'm just happy to be playing here, and I'm back being healthy, and it's always a privilege when you come out and watch tennis. It really means not only for the players a lot, but I think for the entire tennis family, and it's been an absolute pleasure, again, playing here tonight.
Yeah, well, you guys share a lot in common. Rod's got his own building. You have a building in Basel where you're from named after you, so that's not bad. Not quite yet? It's going to be soon. All right, well, next up, I let the cat out of the bag. Sorry about that. Top secret. Next up, your old friend and rival, Rafa, for the semifinals. We're looking forward to that. What are your thoughts on that one?
What I think about it?
Yeah, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure it's going to be a good match. It's going to be tough. It's going to be brutal and all these things. So I got a day off, you know, and I'm looking forward to tonight to give my team a high five and sort of then I start preparing against Rafa. I mean, we've had some epics over the years, and he's had an amazing comeback last year. I mean, couldn't have probably dreamt of a better season for him last year after 7 months being out with his injury. So it's great to see him back. I hope also Andy stays healthy, and then I hope we can slug it out here in a couple of days. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, go give some high fives. Well done, Roger. Tough match, but he came through. Roger Federer, once again.
Yeah, it's Jim's job, but to bring up Rafa right after finally putting away Murray in 3 hours and 20 minutes. But that was going to be the challenge for Federer. We knew it. Patrick is going to have to get past Tsonga. He did in straights. Get past Murray. He did in 4 tough sets. Nadal is next in 2 days' time.
Well, we're all looking forward to it, obviously. And the 2 guys on the lower part of the draw, well, they've never won a major. But the 2 guys on the top, well, they've won plenty. And Nadal, obviously, with a big advantage head-to-head, a big advantage in the majors. And he's beaten him twice here at the Australian Open.
Yeah, if you look at 2013, Rafa was 4-0 against Federer. 3 of those on hard. We'll come back. We'll hear from Roger after this.
Once upon a time, there was a boy who traveled to a faraway place where villages floated on water and castles were houses. Dragons lurked, giants stood tall. And the good queen showed the boy it could all be real.
Whatever you can imagine, all in one place. Expedia, find yours.
Welcome to the Man Manual. When man buys a deodorant, he does so to keep his underarms protected. On the face of it, protection is what man wants. But if we look closer, no, even closer, we can see that powerful deodorants can result in irritation to the underarm. Use Dove Men Plus Care Antiperspirant instead, the one with 48-hour sweat and odor protection in a non-irritant formula, making for much happier underarms. Dove Men Plus Care Antiperspirant, tough on sweat, not on skin.
I have the flu. I took medicine, but I still have symptoms.
Truth is, not all flu products treat all your symptoms.
What?
Alka-Seltzer Plus Severe Cold and Flu speeds relief to these 8 symptoms.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Ready, go.
Verizon innovators are creating air and soil sensor networks that help use water wisely, so American farms can keep growing for generations to come. Because the world's biggest challenges deserve even bigger solutions. Powerful answers. Verizon.
I have the flu. I took medicine, but I still have symptoms.
Truth is, not all flu products treat all your symptoms.
What?
Alka-Seltzer Plus Severe Cold and Flu speeds relief to these 8 symptoms.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Ready, go.
ESPN's coverage of the Australian Open 2014 is presented by Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
Now, what an evening here as Roger Federer grabs a 2-set-to-love lead. We'll take a look at the IBM Insights, focusing on his second serve points, way over it in that decisive 4th set.
Yeah, he went over it in the 2nd set, which he won easily. 1st set, he really won handily. Was a little bit below it there, but in that 4th set, very dominant. The 2nd serve points really told a lot of the story in that 4th set, because it was shaky there after dropping that 3rd set with having the 2 match points.
And now one of the great rivalries in sports. gives us a 23rd chapter in 2 days on this hard court. Pretty well chronicled how dominant Nadal has been over Federer on clay, but he's been able to gain traction off of clay as well. Roger's only 2 wins over Rafa in majors have been at Wimbledon.
Yeah,
Nadal beating him one Wimbledon final, but it's been one-sided lately, frankly.
And Nadal's also been able to dominate him recently on hard courts. But you know what? Great opportunity for Roger Federer. He's healthy, as we heard from him. He's playing aggressively, which he's going to have to do. And he's going to have a great serving night to even have a chance, I believe, against Nadal.
Nadal will hit the practice court. His serve was not great today against Dimitrov. Lots of double faults. And so the stage is set. We'll get Roger's thoughts on that matchup momentarily. To Tom Rinaldi.
Chris, thank you very much. Had you had a chance to serve it out in the 3rd set, and then you dropped the tie break. For as much experience as you have, what are you thinking before the 4th set?
You know, it was just one of those moments where you're like, I can't believe this got away from me. It's not only just that I served for the match at 5-4. Okay, it was against the wind, and I didn't serve that well. Can happen, you know. But then to be up 6-4. Okay, it was also against the wind, but, you know, just get it done, you know, and I couldn't do that, so it was very frustrating, but I was telling myself, I'm still in the lead, it's not all that bad. Let's see how he comes out and physically and mentally gets his done, and I felt like he was struggling early on, but I didn't know if it was real or not real, so it was a mental battle at the end for me.
Ultimately, you prevail. So much is new. You have a new member of your team in Edberg, a new racket. With all that change, how do you assess where you are right now?
Well, I mean, I'm not totally surprised, you know. Clearly, you know, it depends a little bit on the draw here. I think I draw a tough one, you know, with Joe and Tsonga and now Murray. So it's a great run for me. I mean, I did play the finals last week in Brisbane, and then I had a few really good tournaments at the end of last season. Plus, the build-up went really well for me, which was key to get through 4 weeks of really just solid work, no setbacks with my back and nothing like that. So the confidence came back in my movement. All I needed was confidence in my game, and that I definitely got now in the last couple of weeks.
Beyond the strategy, what meaning do you find in the rivalry with Rafa?
Well, I mean, it's a great matchup, you know. I think we play so different, you know, and we've had so many great matches on the biggest of stages. You know, I think back at Wimbledon in particular. Here we had an unbelievable 5-setter. French Open, I kept giving myself chances, and I was close a few times. So we've had really some good ones. The US Open is the only one that's missing for us, you know. So it's nice that we can get another opportunity to play each other here. But sure, I'm looking forward to that one.
I think we always wonder, Roger, because you're so inscrutable on court, we can't tell. How nervous are you, even after all these years?
I mean, of course I do get nervous. I mean, I think every athlete does, you know. For me, if you don't get nervous anymore, that means you don't really care. And so for me, of course, I get nervous, and I'm like, oh, God, sometimes I wish I was not here. And then I tell myself, this is the best thing in the world, to be out here serving for the match. And then you get broken, you're like, oh, it's the worst feeling in the world, you know. So you just try to handle it. And the good thing is it's happened so many times, you know, that I actually was able to serve it out. You can't just beat the clock in tennis. You got to get it done and always get over that finish line. And doesn't matter almost when it happens and how it happens, but it would have been nice to finish it in 3. But look, I'm unbelievably happy to be in the semis again. So it's been a great couple of weeks already.
Roger, as always, we appreciate it. Congrats.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Chris.
Get it done. It took a little longer.
But he got it done.
Get it done against Rafa. He was not able to beat Nadal, Murray, or Djokovic last year. 0-7 combined, so he does get the win against Murray here. PN2 storylines.
Yeah. They're from Canada. I heard today over.
Take on Cibulkova, then it's Berdych in to get to Grand Slam. Berdych, of course, been to the Wimbledon final. Stan waiting for his first Slam final. Hard-earned victory for Federer. For a great final few days.